In this world, suffering is an objective reality. Whether we accept it or not, it appears at every stage of life. Birth, aging, sickness, and death are the four fundamental forms of suffering in human existence. Perhaps we already know these facts, but mere knowledge is not enough. What matters more is, how do we face this suffering? Since suffering cannot be avoided, the only thing we can change is our inner attitude and response. It is precisely the power of the mind that determines whether we are crushed by suffering or whether we can draw wisdom and strength from it. This is the true purpose of Buddhist practice and education. In daily life, when a family welcomes a newborn child, they are often filled with joy. Relatives and friends celebrate, bring gifts, and the parents immerse themselves in happiness. For ordinary people, the birth of a child seems to mean only hope and bliss. Yet if we remain only at the surface of joy, we overlook the other side of the truth, suffering. The mother endures hardship and risk in childbirth, while the newborn greets the world with discomfort and cries, often hidden behind the atmosphere of celebration. Practitioners, however, learn to observe reality as it is. Even within joy, there is suffering. Only with such clear observation can one see the truth of life, that birth carries not only joy, but also the seeds of pain. The Buddha once said that when a baby is born, it inevitably cries aloud, symbolizing that entering life itself is the beginning of suffering. In the Durga Agama Sutra, it is recorded that the process of childbirth is difficult, causing pain to both mother and child. Birth means facing the challenges of survival and the conditions of the environment. This is the suffering of birth. Careful reflection shows that suffering is almost always present at the very start of life. Babies do not come into the world with laughter, but with tears. As we grow, that first cry seems to transform into an inner weeping that continues throughout our lives. To survive, humans are endlessly striving for food, clothing, shelter, medicine, love, education, and countless desires. If not for being born into this imperfect world, such suffering would not exist. Even society itself suffers from birth. Rising population, dwindling resources, environmental degradation, the spread of disease, all remind us that birth inevitably brings suffering. Buddhist scriptures also contain many accounts related to the suffering of birth. Queen Maya, in the Lumbin Grove, gave birth to Prince Siddhartha under the Sala tree. Even though this was the birth of a holy being, she could not escape the pain of childbirth and passed away 7 days later, reborn into Sita heaven, revealing the truth of impermanence. In the Jataka tales, the Buddha described his countless past lives. Whether born as a human or an animal, birth was always accompanied by vulnerability and danger. A fawn newly born could be caught by hunters. A bird breaking from its shell could be devoured if left unprotected. Even in the Buddha's own family, Yashodhara, when giving birth to Rahula, endured the pain of 10 months of pregnancy and labor, despite her status as a royal princess. These examples show us birth is not only the beginning of joy, but also the starting point of suffering. To understand this does not mean to sink into pessimism, but rather to help practitioners deeply realize the imperfection of life, to give rise to the mind of renunciation, to inspire courage in practice, and ultimately to set foot on the path of liberation.